When talking about weight management, we have to consider what other reasons there are that people are struggling to lose weight. And one of the reasons that really comes up as a important thing to consider is what we call emotional eating. So that's what we're going to talk about today. First of all, I want you to just think about why people eat. There's a lot of different reasons that people eat. We should eat because we're hungry. That's number one. But of course, that isn't always the case, and all of us eat for a lot of different reasons. We might eat simply because food is there, because something smells good, it looks good, it tastes good, and then a lot of other emotional things: tired, bored, sad, angry, happy. Other people around you are eating. There's many, many reasons why people eat. I categorize sort of everything besides hunger as quote unquote emotional eating. We do not eat simply because we're hungry. We eat because we have a lot of other stimuli in our environment. So some general ideas and definitions around this. Emotional eating is eating when we're not necessarily physically hungry, eating because food's available, our senses are stimulated, or we're trying to fill some sort of emotional need. Normal eating is occasionally eating because food is available even when you're not hungry. Occasionally eating because you don't want to do something else, you're trying to avoid something. Eating occasionally because you're feeling some emotion that you don't really want to feel, and covering it up with food is comforting. Paying attention to why you're eating, even if you don't always change it. So normal eating is understanding that these things are happening, but not necessarily changing the behavior. It is occasionally overeating or undereating. And normal eating is listening to your body's hunger signals. So we're recognizing that we are physically hungry or we're not physically hungry, but we might be making choices anyway that doesn't necessarily mean we're eating just because of that hunger. That is a normal response. It's important to consider why these emotional factors come into play. And I've listed a handful of things here of what might be coming up for people. It may be places. It might be at work. There are certain stimuli, a break room that has food available. It might be when you're in your car, you're tempted by the drive-through or things like that. It might be when you sit down in front of the television that is a stimuli that makes you feel like, oh, I should get something to eat. For a lot of people, their workplace, sitting at their desk, might be a place where they often eat meals, and so that might be a trigger to have them desire food. It could be people in your life, certain family or friends. For parents, it could be their children. Certain people that make it more tempting to eat because of maybe some emotional things, some relationship issues, social situations that can trigger that as well. And then the actual situation, it might be talking on the phone. It might, again, be watching TV, going out with friends, sitting in traffic, a difficult day at work. These are, could be stressors, could be things that make you go, oh yeah, food seems appealing to me at that moment. For some people, it might be thoughts that they're having, feeling bad about themselves for some reason. It might be a reward situation. I feel like I deserve it because it was a hard day. It can be, again, those physical emotions. I'm feeling something. I'm having an emotional response to any of the above. And then it also could be physiological. It could be stress. It could be tension that somebody feels, a headache, aches and pains. All of these are potential opportunities for people to choose to eat, even though they aren't feeling that physical sense of hunger. What do we do about it? The two main things that I think about when we talk about managing triggers is substitution and avoidance. Substitution is making a different choice even when that trigger comes up. So I recognize that this is a trigger for me, that television, for example, is a trigger. For the example here, instead of skipping the television in the evening, which you enjoy, it's a relaxing time, you might take an appropriate serving of a snack, something that you really like, but it's a healthy, relatively low calorie, that will keep your hands busy while you're watching TV. So it might be, I'm not going to skip the trigger. I'm going to do something different in that situation to make it easier to not create an overeating situation. The other way to manage triggers is avoidance. So it might be avoiding the person, the place, the situation that triggers you to eat. So for a lot of people, I find that at a workplace, the break room is where, particularly after the holidays, everyone brings in their leftover things that they don't want at home. They drop them off at work. And that can be a difficult place when, every day you end up in the break room for whatever reason and there's piles of donuts sitting there. So avoiding that place, not putting your lunch in the fridge in the break room, but keeping it in your lunch bag in your office so you don't have to get into that situation that is difficult for you. So these are the two main areas that I think about is substitution and avoidance. And then in the forum discussion this week, I want you to start thinking about what are some of these triggers, whether it's a trigger that you've experienced or a trigger that you are aware of, or you can see that that might be something that impacts people, and how can you deal with some of those situations, whether it be substitution or avoidance, and be more specific about what way that those situations could be managed better. I also want to address the hunger scale. Back to, we should be eating because we're physically feeling hunger. It's not how we all eat, but it's a good thing that we should at least be paying attention to. And again, when we're talking about weight management, it's really important to help people recognize, are they feeling physical hunger? Can we help people to continue to make choices that allows them to eat in those situations where they are feeling hunger as opposed to the emotional reasons? This is a hunger scale, which gives a simple description of how you might be feeling throughout this process. So where we're aiming to be is somewhere 3 to 6 is where we really should be eating. Our stomach might be starting to rumble a little bit. We're beginning to start to feel some signs of hunger. We then, are eating to the point where we're feeling satisfied. We could maybe eat a little bit more, or we're, to the point of being satisfied. We should not wait until we're at 1. We're weak, we're shaky, irritable. We don't want to wait that long until we eat. And we don't want to eat to the point of feeling uncomfortable. You have to unbutton your pants because they feel like they're going to burst. We want to be eating, noticing that hunger, starting to eat, and stopping somewhere in that 3 to 6 range. And I think that's a good tool to help people to start to understand, listen to their body a little bit better around hunger, and make some better choices to help weight management.